My name is Claudia Seymour. I paint in oil and pastel, and I'm the president of the Salmagundi Club. People use all different sorts of theories and patterns when they do their composing and their story writing. Some people use a circular pattern. Some people use a lot of diagonals and use an S or a Z pattern. I am much simpler than that. I base most of my compositions on a triangle. Now, this is a painting I did about a year ago, and the triangle in this one is pretty clear because the top point is determined here by this top tulip. And if you look at it, the entire image within the frame of the canvas is basically triangular. So I always have a top point, a high point, which is often slightly to the right of center. I usually have them a little more right-handed than this, but this was fairly busy, so this ended up rather in the middle. And then I have other objects out to the sides that anchor it. In the middle are all of the other objects, plants, natural things that we use to put in the composition. I really, really do love still life. I love being in control of the colors. I love being in control of the objects. Sometimes it can take me 20 minutes to set up an arrangement of things, and sometimes it can take me the better part of a day. But when I'm done, I spend a little time trying to get to the point where I really appreciate what I've put together. And the theory with the lemons is much the same as it was with the tulips. This is the lighted side because it's facing the light, and now the shadowed side, you can see up there, is quite a bit darker. So we'll take this but one of the things that's a lot of fun with the lemons is that some of them are picking up reflected light from the lemons nearby. So we want to make sure that where that occurs, it's clear. And just as the front of the lemons are all different colors, so are the shaded parts. And I don't think I mentioned when we were talking about values earlier, remember that when an object is casting a shadow, the cast shadow is considerably darker than the shadow that is simply created by the movement away from the light source, all right? So we want to make sure that where we have shadows cast, they are distinctly darker. Now that lemon, this is the lemon that was back behind here, furthest away and in the shadow of the blue vase, so it's getting no direct light. And now to make this work, we have to add the color of the shadow in. So I'm going to take my base flower color, which was the cadmium yellow light mixed with the warm Old Holland white, and I'm going to add some yellow ochre to it. A little medium or a little bit of our liquid, and just a dot of the brown, because I don't want it to be too dark because this flower is very much in the light, but we need to use the darker color to show how the flower is constructed. And I am going to take a walk up there so I can show you something about it. In this particular flower, which this is the one that we're going to be doing a version of that I'm working on right now, you have the lighted side of the flower, you have the underside or the shadow side of the flower, and right here you see a little sliver of light coming through, which is that translucent light that has come through the petal. It's not close enough really to be picking up much reflected light, although I guess you could say that this surface here is a little lighter because it's getting light bounced off or through the white tulip above it. But I wanted to show you that on this particular bloom, there is a very clear indication of the light coming through the petal. So we'll see if we can't get that in there as well. And the tulip on the side, down by the cup, is resting on its leaves and stem. So we need to put some greenery down there. This is in shadow, so I'm going to take our sap green for now and mix it with just a tiny bit of red as its complement, which is going to both darken it and dull it down. So it will be connected to something. And then it's going to have this lovely leaf coming out from underneath here with that lovely little point. And this one has a little bit of its own shadow in it because the flower is lying on it. So we just want the part that is out from under the shadow to have those lovely highlights.